let's talk about giving up. That's not actually what we're talking about. We're talking about pivoting, but it kind of feels like giving up. When do you know it's time to give up? You know, how do you know it's not just because you're tired? Because it feels that way sometimes.
Doesn't it?
What is a pivot? You know that iconic scene where Ross is like,
alrighty, Roo.
A pivot is often, you know, shifting the way that you do something. We shift. Pivot is a shift. You often hear about this with startups. They'll start with one product and then they'll pivot because they realize something's different about their original assumptions when they started their business. It can sometimes feel really scary. It actually always, I think, feels terrifying. It never feels good. Starting a new business is like running a science experiment.
Yes, science!
Jesse, we need to pivot the business.
Yo, Mr. White, that sounds dope.
What is the scientific method? Scientific method hypothesis. Business is like science, but most people, they don't think that way. Most business owners just start their businesses because they think, oh, I love this thing, I want to do it and get paid for doing it because I'm pretty good at it. But in reality, what you're doing is creating a hypothesis. When we first start our business, we're actually doing a lot of different experiments. We're offering a product to customers, testing it out, making sure that our hypothesis correlates to the real world, and then taking those results and doing more tests, getting more customers, and so on and so forth. The problem stems from when your hypothesis doesn't actually play out in the real world the way that you thought it would. So when we pivot, it's because we've discovered that our hypothesis is off base, incorrect. It needs to change based on the data that we have collected. But businesses are pivoting all of the time, and they're not often doing it for the right reasons. See, running a business is like a roller coaster. At the beginning, it starts off really exciting. You feel good about everything that you're doing. You have customers coming in the door. You have people that you're selling to, but then you reach a period where it kind of slows down or it gets really difficult and it's hard. You can have customers that fire you because you didn't do the right thing, or maybe you just are tired of running 24/7. Because running a business is so emotional, it's easy to get cold feet about what you think you should be doing. And that is the point where a lot of people pivot. People decide, well, it shouldn't be this way. I'm gonna change the business that I have to fit my expectations of what the business should be. When we first start any kind of business, we're thinking, I know exactly what my customers want. I know exactly the business that I need to build in order to be successful. You are too close to what you do. You cannot accurately tell someone what they think of your product because you are the product. Instead, what we should be looking at is what kind of data and what kind of feedback are we getting from our customers by asking them. Your customers most likely associate the value that you're giving them with something that is completely different from what you think it is. A lot of businesses start from people who have problems and want to solve a specific thing that they've experienced. But what they don't realize is that they need to talk to other people who have shared that experience to understand all of the different facets of that particular problem. A pivot then is reorienting the business in order to solve the specific problem that we see arise again and again from our customers. Now, that's a pretty big pivot, right? To completely reorient the business around something that you found that your customers are struggling with. But there are smaller pivots too. Your capacity is changing for how many clients that you can serve. The products that you're offering are changing. Whenever you develop or offer a new product, everything changes about the clients and customers that you're able to serve. When you are introducing new aspects into the business, you're pivoting. Just in a really small way, most of the time. So think of your business as a gigantic science experiment. Instead of trying to figure out all of the perfect things that need to go into running this incredible business that you have, or the one that you picture in your head, just listen to your customers and try to understand what they're looking for. And then Figure out how you can better do that with the systems and processes along the way. You are making these
Tiny micro pivots.
in the business strategy so that ultimately you're doing a better job. Slowly but surely, we build this catalog of data in order to create a better experience for all of the customers that we serve. And that is going to help you build your business into something better than it is today. Pivot. I love feet, tiny little feet, massive feet, good feet, hard feet, my customers' feet, your mom's feet, roller coaster, feet, Wednesday, feet, Thursday, feet, business, feet, everybody loves feet.